Hello. Okay, so we are now going to take a look at lesson 5, which is called When Do You Study? Okay. So let's go ahead and look at lesson 5. All right. Let me put my volume up too. All right, here we go. All right, so lesson 5 is called When Do You Study? Okay, when do you study means cuando estudias. Okay. So our goal for today is to plan a schedule. That is our goal for today. Okay, so one of the things we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about clock, which is el reloj, and the times, las horas. Okay, so we're going to look at A. It says interpret. Complete the information about what Roberto does. Okay, so if you see here, we have one clock. This is a clock. Okay, now you have to be really careful. That is a reloj. Okay, you have to be very careful not to confuse it, no confundirlo with watch. Watch sería reloj de mano. Okay, so let's look at the time. If you look at the time, it looks like, excuse me, looks like he has from, the time is 6:30, and we don't know AM or PM. Okay, and then right here, it looks like 7. Cuando el tiempo es un tiempo en punto, right? For example, like this one, 7. Puedes decir nomás el número, por ejemplo, 7, o también puedes decir 7 o'clock. Okay. Muy importante entender que o'clock nomás se usa o solo se usa cuando hablas de una hora en punto. Okay. So, cuando tienes la oración completa, okay, and then right here you have, aquí te da ciertos nouns, right? So, for example, radio, sabemos que es radio, eso no cambia. Newspaper es periódico. Class, clase. TV, televisión. Okay, and then journal. Journal sería como un diario. Un diario propio. Okay. Ahora, okay. So for the first one, esto nomás solamente los vamos a poner en orden. Okay, Roberto listens to the radio. Roberto reads. Okay, aquí es donde los verbos van a estar un poquito más importantes. Listens es el verbo de escuchar. Okay, pues obviamente de todos estos, en realidad nada más podemos poner radio. Number 2, Roberto reads. Okay, reads es el verbo leer. So sabemos que vamos a poner newspaper. Number 3, Roberto practices, okay, in class, watches, es la acción de ver. Okay, so sabemos que va a ver la TV. Oops. Okay, and then last one, writes, is escribir. So writes in a journal, un diario. Okay, so it's important to know that when you read a time, okay, for example, this one says, Roberto listens to the radio. Okay, but our sentence could be, Roberto listens to the radio from de 6:30, 6:30, to 7 o'clock. Okay, es importante entender from, que quiere decir de. And the word to, a. Es como de 6:30 a 7. Okay, porque está entre dos horarios. Okay, so let's just take a look at the times. Okay, number 2, the start, okay, el principio, ¿a qué horas empezó? Is 7:15. The finish o el final, 8 o'clock. Okay, so Roberto reads the newspaper. Number 3, we have 5 o'clock, start, finish is 6:30. Okay, that's when Roberto practices in class, practica en clase. So number 4, we have 10 o'clock, start, for Roberto watches TV, and stops or finish at 10:30. Okay, and then we have Roberto writes in a journal. Okay, that is at 11. That is our start. Our finish is 11:30. Okay, now let's look at B. This is complete the sentences about Roberto's schedule. Okay, so number 1, it says he reads the newspaper from 7:15 to 8 o'clock. Okay, that's number 2. That's regular. So number 2, it says he practices English in class from blank to blank. From what time? We have from 5 o'clock to 6:30. Number 3, he watches TV from, we have 10 o'clock to 10:30. Okay, now let's look at number 4. It says he writes in a journal from 11 o'clock to 11:30. Okay. Now, in all of these times, we do not talk about AM or PM. But just remember that, I mean, it's important for you to know that AM is in the morning or before noon. En la mañana, antes del mediodía. Okay, and then we know PM is in the afternoon, en la tarde o después de mediodía. Okay, very important to remember that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next page. Okay, so C, it says look at the clocks and write the times. So number 1, it says Lydia reads the newspaper at 6:45. Number 2, Lydia listens to the radio at, okay, what time is it? 1:15. Okay, number 3, Lydia practices English in class at what time does she practice English? At 2:25. Oops. Okay, and then number 4, Lydia writes in a journal at 7:50. All right. Now let's look at D. It says write Lydia's schedule. Okay, so at 6:45, she reads the newspaper. Okay, so here's all your times, right? So you know right here, you're gonna have 1:15. Okay, next, okay, at 1:15, she listens to the radio. Okay, which one is our next one? Okay, 2:25. She practices English in class. Okay, and what is next? Okay, at 7:50, she writes in her journal. She writes in a journal. All right, perfect. Okay, now we are going to listen and write Juan's schedule. Oh, I need to get it out. There we go. Here we go.
Juan is a good student. He wants to learn English so he can get a better job. He has a regular schedule and follows it every day. He eats breakfast every morning from 6 to 6:30. He usually eats cereal, but sometimes he has eggs. Directly after he eats, he reads the newspaper. He usually reads in English from 6:30 to 6:45. He listens to the radio on the way to school from 7 a.m. to 7:25 a.m. He writes in his journal before class from 7:30 to 8. He practices English in class from 8 to 10 a.m., Monday through Friday.
All right, so let's listen again actually, one more time.
Juan is a good student. He wants to learn English so he can get a better job. He has a regular schedule and follows it every day. He eats breakfast every morning from 6 to 6:30. He usually eats cereal, but sometimes he has eggs. Directly after he eats, he reads the newspaper. He usually reads in English from 6:30 to 6:45. He listens to the radio on the way to school from 7 a.m. to 7:25 a.m. He writes in his journal before class from 7:30 to 8. He practices English in class from 8 to 10 a.m., Monday through Friday.
All right. So let's look at, okay. So from what time to what time does Juan read the newspaper? From 6:30 to 6:45. Ooh, ooh, ooh. 6:30 to 6:45. Okay, from what time to what time does Juan listen to the radio? Okay, from 7 to 7:25. Okay, now let's look at what time, from what time to what time does Juan write in a journal? Okay, from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Okay, and then last time, from what time to what time does Juan practice English in class? From 8 o'clock to 10. Okay, so then at the bottom, you have Juan's schedule, okay, but it is in sentences this time. Okay, so I want you to complete the rest of the sentences. So for example, number 1, it says Juan eats breakfast from 6 to 6:30. Okay, our next activity is Juan reads the newspaper from 6:30 to 6:45. Okay, now I want you to complete numbers 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now I also want you to look at page 28, okay? Now, you will not be able to complete H because you do not have a partner, but I do want you to write your schedule in the chart, okay? So this is for you, okay? So this is only an example. Do not copy. No copiar ni mío. Do not copy. Example, do not copy. Okay, and it doesn't have to be any of the activities that we talked about today. No tiene que ser nada de las actividades que hemos hecho hoy. Okay, it can be anything you want. Okay, so for example, in the morning, okay, por la mañana. No, en la mañana. Okay, in the afternoon, en la tarde, and at night, en la noche. Okay, so again, otra vez, solamente es un ejemplo. No copien lo mío. Do not copy mine. Okay, so in the morning, I will say 6:30 to 7 o'clock. Okay, this is mine. This is mío. Nancy takes a shower. Okay, in the afternoon, let's say from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Nancy records English lessons. Okay, at night, I will say from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. From 7 to 8, Nancy goes to the gym. Okay, so you are going to fill out G with your examples. Okay, so you should have your own examples. All right. Do not forget, that's the end of this lesson, but do not forget that you also have to do the homework. Okay, your homework, it looks like this. Okay, it is page 24, 25, and 26. If you have any questions over the homework, just let me know. Just either call me or send me a text. Okay, thank you. I will see you guys on Monday.